Any thoughts on Colbert's comments on Ben? Or Ben's comments on Colbert, I'm sorry.
Which one specifically?
I think the main one is just he said Colbert was ready to move on. Tomlin was okay with me coming back, but he kind of wanted to move on too.
Mm-hmm.
Rooney was the guy that really wanted me back.
I like the honesty from Seven, the transparency. At the end of the day, though, when you're leaving out the NFL, it's never going to be glamorous, right? It's like, even when we talk about the Jerome Bettis, the bus stops here, nobody ever wants to like stop doing something that they've had so much like fun, so many awesome memories. They've been connected to this thing forever. But at the same time, when you're talking about the business element of it, you have to ask yourself, okay, do I keep having this guy here until he completely falls off that cliff? Or do you start making those plans a little bit early? And in business, you would much rather, especially with sports, get rid of a guy a year too soon than a year too late. And plenty of people debate whether this season that just passed was too soon or too late. You got some people that say, hey, man, if they would have had a Kenny Pickett on the roster going into last season, do they even keep Ben? We will never know, all right? We won't know. But we know this offseason, they made some changes to that quarterback room. And for them, even now, if they really wanted Seven back, they could easily go do that. I just think it's one of those things that they realize that, hey, man, even if he can still play, we will never be able to transition from him successfully if we don't put that plan into place now.
He's an icon.
And that's cool, man. But at the end of the day, it's just how you run the business. That's all. So when you talk about
that's
NFL
to your
players,
point of like
yeah.
that's probably going to be, you don't draft Pickett if you got Ben in the room. It's tough. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you on that.
It makes it a little more awkward whenever they're trying to do the whole move on, get the new era in.
That's football, man. It's like, and I mean, you see it sometimes. I don't want to speak on other sports. I just speak on strictly football right now. But you see it a lot, man, where they're like, okay, even though this guy's still getting it done at a high level, even though you feel like he's getting it done at a level that is championship caliber, or can win with it, it's still a lot that goes into it. They're like, hey, man, money, all right. What's the direction of this team? Okay, how long do we want to wait? Because we got guys on the other side. We talked about TJ, Young, Minka, Young, right? It's like, man, how many of those years do you want to bank on this or test this? When do we make that move? And I just think it's one of them things, man, that is never going to be a nice way to do it. Even if, and think about it, this is what Seven's saying, hey, I'm retiring. Still.
Said retiring, and he's also even saying in the whole article, like, I'm good with where I'm at.
Yeah, but it's just one of them things. It's like, yeah, you always got that itch of like, yo, I still want to be out there, but you read the writing on the wall. You're either saying that, hey, man, they're either going to force me out, I can walk out, or I can go play somewhere else. And if you're not really trying to do one of those things, or you obviously know you got the injury part of it where that can get you up out of here too. But those are some of those scenarios. And we even heard when Vince talked about it, man, you go through that ego death. And I personally feel that right now, Seven and everybody else that goes through this transition of retiring from football or no longer playing football, you go through these weird feelings like this where you're saying, yes, I'm cool being retired. Yes, you heard Seven. I'm fine being retired. I ain't tripping. But at the same time, you hear him sounding what? A little bitter, right? Because that's how you feel, man. When you go from this is what you've done, you've loved this, everybody's loved you, and now it's done. It's a hard stop. It's no glamorous, like, yeah. So for Seven, I think that's one of those things that he's gonna have to work through. I mean, shoot, I still be working through it, and I'm 4 years out. Like, everybody goes through it, man. Shoot, Kevin Colbert is going through it, bro. Like,
he's got that itch. He's got that itch to make a move,
bro. It's the reality of it. Like, you can, like, think about this, dude. Like, and it's hard for most people to relate because, like, most people's jobs, that wasn't like their passions. They were a kid. When it comes to football, bro, we've been doing it since we were this big, bro. This big. 20 plus years for some people, man.
The glory too.
Yeah.
You talk about the ego. I mean,
20 plus years of doing that.
That's got to be some of the most awesome feelings, being out in the stadium, doing something good, and everyone cheering on you like that.
Think about this. I say 20 plus years. For Ben, it's even longer because he was in the NFL for 20. I only got, 9? So you double that along with everything on the front. Bro, it's tough, bro. They ain't never going to be an easy, oh, yeah, man, I made my money. I had my success rings, all that. Bro, you still feel it, man. Still going to feel it.
The quotes that I remember most from that article are, I think I played good last year.
Yeah, that was the lightning rod, because a lot of people were not necessarily
I hear what he's saying.
In agreement with that, man.
People that saw the same thing I was seeing is the offensive line were struggling, and Ben had to get the ball out quick. Most sacked quarterback in the league. You can't have that.
No, he was not the most sacked
Was
quarterback in the league. No. That was, we talked about
How
Ryan
close was
Tannehill.
it?
We talked about Joe Burrow.
He was top 3, right?
He was in the top 5. Yes, he was definitely up there. He was, but it was just.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
right.
that was
the
only
stats. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, you can't have that. And then he also said, "I think I can still play. My arm still feels good."
And there's nothing keeping him from playing. Remember that. There's nothing keeping him from playing.
I don't want any injuries, but all I'm saying is if scenario happens midway through the season, we're a little hurting for quarterbacks. Hopefully, Ben, Tomlin, whoever, mend that bridge, bring him in, late season run. If it needs to happen, I don't want any injuries though.
I
If a Drew Brees scenario from last year.
Man, you got to be careful what you wish for. That's all, man.
I'm not wishing for anything.
No, you're wishing for your guy to be back. Not even talking
It would
about
be
like
nice.
I'm not talking about
It'd
like
be
the method of it. I'm just saying.
I feel like with this new offensive line and Pickens, Muth, second year,
I just
feel like it could be a different story.
If 7 really wanted to prove something, it's nothing holding him back. That's all.
It's too late now, though.
No, it actually is not. No,
It's
in
too
fact,
late with the-
Josh Rosen just signed with the Cleveland Browns yesterday, and he's going to be competing. Okay,
No, but you
so
know-
stop that.
No, you know-
it is not too late.
No, but you know the direction the Steelers have officially gone in with signing Trubisky and drafting Pickett. It'd be weird. It'd be weird.
Weird? Who cares about weird? It's always weird. Is it not weird that we're transitioning from 7?
Like the Patriots moved on from Brady. Like shit happens. Same with the Colts, Brady Manning. Like that stuff happens. Packers with Favre.
But no. The difference is this: those guys still went on and played other places. 7 is not playing other place right now. So with those guys, you got a chance to show, but they also got a chance to show that they weren't finished, that they weren't washed, that they weren't past their prime or anything like that. Right? They got a chance to like end all of the debate. Brady and Manning both won rings elsewhere. Right? That's the part where, once again, for 7, and I don't know if he feels like that or not. I'm just based off what he said and off of what you're saying. But if that is the case, go out there and get you one. Go, ain't nothing holding you back, man.
Guess that's just that loyalty to the city.
And there's nothing holding you back with that either.
That's why he's staying retired right now.
No, I'm saying if he wanted to come out of retirement and play and compete with these dudes, I'm coming back for the vet minimum, and I just want to compete with these dudes in camp. He could easily do that, and they would give him that opportunity.
There's no way. You think Tomlin would let him do that?
He's not coming back for that. That's the reality of it. It's never an issue of, would they let it? When we talked about the finances behind Ben, that's what it always came down to, right? When your play is not here anymore, and we can't force multiply like crazy, but you're costing this, now we got to start looking around. How are we going to make this thing work? Then he was getting older, and then they were like, you know what? We're ready to make a shift. But he could easily come back and say, hey, now the money's out the equation. Now let's just see who has the best skill. He could do that. Now, I don't recommend that. Like, you made your money. You did what you did, man. You walked away. You're healthy. Enjoy it. We all go through this phase. It's going to suck for a little while, but then it's going to get good. Like, that's what I would tell him.
I just have a tough time if Ben said that, believing that Tomlin would just have him back, though. Or even, man, I don't know how Con feels about it, but like if it was Colbert.
With a person like Ben, when you have Ben Roethlisberger we're talking about, if he were to say, I'm coming back for this little bit of money, and all I want to do is compete.
Let's win an effing Super Bowl.
That's all I want to do is compete with these dudes. They would give him that opportunity. That's how I feel.
Wow.
Yeah. But this one of them things, maybe we'll never know. Who knows? I say maybe, because plenty of guys will come out of retirement. So we'll see.
That's what I said. If we need some quarterback help mid-season for whatever reason.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Hey.
Hopefully he's still in the best shape of his life by mid-season too, right?
I could see it.
Yeah, because usually it's you got to catch him before November, right?
Retirement, 20 pounds.
Catch him before November, man. Catch him before November, bro. Yeah, just catch him before November.
He's playing this competitive golf, though.
I'm hoping that keeps him going, man. That's a fun sport to play, man. Absolutely. And I did see a couple people over here saying, hey, man, hit the like button. You're absolutely right. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't done so already, man. Salute y'all that have, though.